Are wolves overpowered?
At the height of the Ice Age, the Tundra server was filled with incredibly
Is this
overpowered
fake?
beasts.
Oh, it is.
Smilodon's Saber Fang perk.
My brain just wasn't like
any other player
fully.
in the game.
Oh wow.
The short-faced bear was seemingly invincible, being the largest carnivorous mammal build of all time. And the cave hyena had an absurdly powerful bite force, able to crack bones and tear incredible amounts of flesh with every bite. Yet, of the Ice Age's top predators, the one which proved to be the most resilient and indeed the most successful was the wolf. Even though wolves are nowhere near as massive or as powerful as these other Ice Age monsters, today the wolf build is practically synonymous with ferocity and hunting prowess. But what is it about wolves that made them such a force of nature? Today we'll find out.
Just one wolf?
Wolves are part of the carnivoran archetype, which became popular during the Miocene update. The main perk of this archetype is something called carnassial teeth, a trait which greatly improves the ability of carnivorous builds to consume food. Rather than needing to swallow things whole, or mercilessly slam-dunking the daylights out of things until they fall apart, carnassial teeth enable the player to bite off small chunks of meat, which might seem like a small thing, but really it opens up tons of new opportunities for carnivorous playstyles, including for scavenging carcasses and for sharing larger kills among teammates. The carnivoran archetype is split into two main factions, feliforms and caniforms. There are a ton of differences between these two, but I'll try and simplify them into how the differences play out in practice.
You know, I never really thought about skunks biting into something. I don't even think teeth when I think skunk. I just think like a land octopus, where like octopus's ink and then skunks just skunk.
Is between these two.
I don't know what it's called. What is it, like a stink bomb? Like, I don't know.
Play out in practice. At their core, feliforms are adapted to being hyper-carnivorous ambush predators, whereas caniforms are more generalist in nature. This is most obvious in their snouts, which have different shapes and lengths. Caniforms tend to have longer, less compact snouts. This enables them to carry a wide range of different types of teeth, suited for a more omnivorous playstyle. You have some teeth for dealing damage, some for shearing meat, some for crunching bones or nuts, and even some for chewing on plant fibers. Meanwhile, feliforms have shorter snouts, enabling them to have a higher bite force.
Yo, that zebra trying to get up out of there, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Yo, somebody help my man. Oh!
Chunks of meat. The longer caniform snout.
No, he's cooked. He's cooked. He's cooked. Me personally, that wouldn't happen to me though.
Enables them to breathe more efficiently.
I would have hit his ass with a barrel roll.
Oxygen. This gives caniform builds much greater stamina, enabling them to run for much greater distances without tiring. It also facilitates their vastly superior sense of smell, which enables them to track prey, scavenge for food, and find teammates.
Yeah.
So it makes sense why just about every feliform build is an ambush predator, whereas caniforms can be anything from acrobatic marine builds to slow
Bro, just took down a Taurus.
Focusing more specifically on wolves, though, pretty much
Tauros.
everything I've said so far about the caniform build applies here. But for a more in-depth analysis, let's take a look at the wolf's base stats.
Right.
So, as ferocious as wolves are thought to be,
Bro, we gotta go
their
with just
power
a
stat
single
is
wolf though, bro.
fairly mid.
We have to go single wolf, because if we go like multiple wolves, that's not even fair, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like a whole pack of wolves is crazy. That's a whole separate like entity. You know what I mean?
Predator. Wolves aren't really going to be one-shotting anything larger than a rabbit with their bite attacks. And due to the non-retractability of their claws, they aren't going to be doing much damage with their paw swipe either. And yet, taking out players above their own weight class is a signature aspect of the wolf's strategy. This is typically done by chaining strings of bite attacks together in order to inflict the blood loss status condition, which drains the target's health and stamina over time. When executed properly by a pack of wolves, this can bring down basically anything, no matter how large the target. But obviously, since this is not a quick process, there's a lot of room for mistakes, so let's see how wolves handle taking damage rather than dealing it. So due to their lower defense stat, wolves are going to be mostly relying on their agility to avoid damage. They aren't totally defenseless, their thick fur and general bulk does allow them to absorb a few blows if necessary, but it's mostly there for warmth, not combat. Their stealth stat is a similar story. Their gray fur overcoat does offer a moderate stealth bonus, but is primarily there for warmth and can be easily spotted.
Tom Holland, Sabrina Carpenter, and Lil Yachty.
As I sort of mentioned during the segment about caniform versus feliform builds, the perception stat is central to the wolf's game plan. Their ability to track scents.
Bro, could you just imagine just laying down and then you're just trying to be perfectly still because you know what they say, obviously. Like if you stand perfectly still, wolves can't see you, right? But and then the wolf just comes up to you and starts smelling you. Like, bro, oh my gosh, bro. Like my heart would be beating out of my chest right here. I'm not gonna lie. Unless he was by himself, then obviously I could take on a wolf one-on-one. But bro, you just gotta know that the pack is somewhere not too far behind.
To the wolf's game plan. Their ability to track scents is quite literally one of the best in the game.
Facts.
Able to detect smells from miles away. But their top-tier perception stat doesn't end at olfaction.
Arthur Morgan had a pretty good snout on him too.
Powerful. While many players believe the cat's hearing is superior, in reality they are roughly equivalent in terms of pure sensitivity, but are fine-tuned for different purposes. Cats are much better at sensing higher-pitched sounds, allowing them to detect hidden prey nearby,
a good one.
such as the sound of a mouse breathing under the leaf litter. Wolves are better at sensing low rumbling sounds, meaning they...
You're not assaulting a wolf. Like, that's not happening. Like, me, like, I would be able to, like, beat a wolf in a one-on-one. Obviously, I'd take damage, and it would be, like, close to a 50-50. But, like, I would beat it in a one-on-one. Yeah, you're just not doing that to a wolf.
They can discern the location
That's just not happening.
Prey from miles away. And the same is true for their eyesight. The cat's slitted pupils allow it to strike smaller targets with perfect accuracy, but are not as useful as the wolf's large circular pupils for locking onto prey from a long distance.
Oh, so if you see a wolf in the distance, it can definitely see you. Like, they can, like, focus. They got, like, focused lens inside of they... Oh, that's crazy.
And as I've already alluded...
Wait, are coyotes and wolves in the same family?
...to, the wolf's above-average intelligence stat enables some excellent options for teamwork and pack hunting. They can communicate and coordinate over great distances using their howl ability.
I mean, yeah, that's cheating, though.
Of teamwork and extremely powerful
talking about hand-to-hand combat, hand-to-paw.
Massive territories. We'll get more in-depth into their hunting tactics in a bit. Mobility is their second highest. We'll get more.
You think there's like freaky wolves in the pack? There's got to be at least one freak in the pack that just specifically goes and eats the ass meat. There has to be, bro. There's no way. Like, there's got to be like that one wolf. Like, they just call him like Fred or some shit. Like, yeah, Fred. You know Fred gonna take the ass. It don't matter what we kill. It could be a cow, a wild dog, like a fucking moose, mammoth. He eating that ass for sure. Like any animal ass, he on that.
Mobility is their second highest stat, and this greatly assists in their ability to defeat players in higher weight classes. Simply put, wolves have an incredible amount of stamina, and can run for longer distances than pretty much anything it could ever encounter.
Yeah, see, that's why you have to just fight it head on, bro. You can't try to outrun it. You can't do none of that, bro. It's not gonna work, bro.
This makes sense, as being able to sense prey from a great distance wouldn't do much good if you had no abilities to run them down.
Facts.
So, when you add all of this up, just how effective of a build is the wolf? It really does
Seems
come down
pretty
to
good.
how effective their pack hunting abilities are.
And that's what I'm talking about, bro. It's about the pack, bro. It's not just, you know what I mean? It's about the pack, bro.
If you were to strip all of that away, I actually think the wolf would be mid at best. Their power stat is way below average for an apex predator, being more in line with that of a scavenger or generalist. There's no way a lone wolf is bringing down one of the Tundra server's many tanky herbivores.
Yeah,
as a player, if all you want to do is grief smaller mammal builds like rabbits and squirrels, you're really better off playing as a smaller caniform, like a fox or a mink. In order to get the most out of a wolf's kit, you need to maximize the...
Do they have a video on coyotes? I'm actually really curious about coyotes.
Which are most effective at tracking and hunting larger herbivores. So, wolves really are stuck working together. They'd be wasting their potential hunting only smaller builds, but aren't powerful enough to solo a large herbivore.
Nah, this is a crazy situation. Like, imagine you and your pack just got done, like, jumping one of these niggas. Like, what the fuck is this? What is this, an ox? You just got done jumping like an ox. It was alone, right? It was your pack. It was like 10 of y'all, and there was one ox. Y'all just jumped it. Boom. It took y'all probably like a good 6 minutes to take down that raid boss, right? And then all of a sudden, you go out on your own. You're like, all right, I'm about to go. I think I left a couple bones down at the pier. Let me go to the pier real quick. I'll meet up with y'all later. Y'all at the sanctuary and shit. And then you pop out, and it's just all these oxen is just out there, and you're just like, fuck. I mean, obviously you can outrun them, you know what I'm saying? You have unlimited stamina and everything. You only level up stamina. But, like, that's got to be a scary sight. I'm not going to lie, because I know that they're not friendly toward this. Like, they're like, this is him. This is the guy who took out James, you know?
Their kit only makes sense when viewed through the lens of pack hunting.
Facts.
And indeed, the lethality of the wolf's pack hunting tactics is undeniable.
Oh, dude, a pack of wolves, yeah, I'm not fucking with that at all.
Wolves are able to prove that their squads are much more cohesive.
Oh shit, they popped out. No way, all of them are running like that.
And at that point, it really is just a waiting game. Now, it's worth noting that even in a group, it's often still too risky to just recklessly attack a tanky herbivore. Wolfmanes tend to only attack a fleeing target, so as long as they hold their ground,
you gotta wait for them to run.
Damage. But as they tire from fending off bluff strikes, and as their teammates get further and further away, most players will eventually try and make a break for it. And this is where the wolf pack will start
bit him
doing
straight in
damage.
the neck.
By taking turns attacking their back end repeatedly, they'll eventually inflict the Bloodlust status effect, which...
Is this the Smite map, bro? Please, what is this, tier 2? Please, bro, please don't put this on here again, bro. I have PTSD from Smite.
Slowly drains the target's HP, leading to a guaranteed game over, at which point the entire pack splits the loot. This is overpowered in and of itself, but where it really gets broken is when you re-examine the same tactic through the wolf-human team combo. Because all of the things that make the wolves pack...
Oh my god, that would be so fucking tough. Bro, you had your own wolf? Bro, that would be so tough, bro. I feel like I would need at least 2 of them. But then I feel like they might plot to try to like kill me or something on some crazy shit. So never mind.
Even more effectively when
maybe like a wolf and a panther
humans
and grow up together.
Are similar in that both are exceptional distance runners, allowing them to naturally keep pace with each other.
A white panther and a black wolf.
But in addition to
some Black Panther Winter Soldier type shit,
they also cover each other's weaknesses and fill in the biggest gaps in each other's hunting strategy. Humans lack the same perception stat that wolves have. While they can use their intelligence to sort of supplement...
Wait, did you have a pet wolf in Far Cry Primal?
No substitute to just having a teammate who can lock onto a scent at a great distance and never lose it. But why do wolves need humans? You may remember, when wolves hunt, they can oftentimes reach an impasse due to their lack of ability to quickly deal lethal damage. Humans do not have this limitation, and can easily break the stalemate using one of their projectile weapons. The same is true on defense. The wolf's sensory abilities can detect the approach of a dangerous enemy, and alert the humans of the impending
threat.
Bro,
just draw a circle, bro. Just draw a circle, bro. Anti-brown bear attack circle. I think, no, I don't think it's circles for brown bears. I think it's squares. Or possibly a triangle. I would just try both. Maybe put a triangle inside of a square, just to be safe. And then you should be good, bro. There should be no bears or really any animals that are willing to cross that line and die to the dark arts.
Would struggle to drive away. And so domestic wolf and human hunter-gatherer players naturally made for an unstoppable force. Bro,
that is a big, like, bro, could you imagine eating this, bro? This is crazy. Like, bro, this is good eats right here, bro. You can eat off this for a minute. Like, especially these, like, guys in the situation they're in, they look like they don't really eat that often. Like, often as in, like, 3 meals a day. Like, they probably eat, like, once when they wake up, once before dinner, like, and once before bed, and they don't eat a lot. So it's like, hey, you're chilling off of this, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Shit, I needed some animal loot like this in Minecraft.
Players naturally made for an unstoppable force that lasted through multiple balance patches, including the end of the Ice Age and the beginning of the Anthropocene. Eventually, after spending so much time cooperating, many wolf players began speccing their characters specifically to better synergize with humans, such as a passive mental health regen aura, and higher intelligence and better communication abilities, which allowed them to handle more complicated commands, eventually renaming their build entirely from wolf to dog. And because of their optimization towards collaboration, even as humans transitioned away from their hunter-gatherer playstyle, dogs still remained a relevant and high-tier choice for their party comp. This isn't to say that the wolf's only good interspecies combo is with a human, though. Among the player base who remained wild, one solid combo is with the raven or crow. They will often seek...
Bro, I don't know why, like, his wording, the way he had said it, it sounded like wolves were mating with birds to, like, create a hybrid or something. I was like, how is that even possible?
Out a wolf player and lead them to a carcass they'd found far away. These POIs are usually hotly contested and too competitive for a crow to capture by themselves. So, in exchange for leading the wolf there, the wolf will chase away the other players and share the remaining spoils with the bird. But anyway, in short, wolves broke the game by finding the perfect team comp and being the #1 choice of party member for the most overpowered build the game has ever seen. They were already debatably OP just hunting in wolf packs, but were at least sort of kept in check by their mid damage. But when that limitation is mitigated, their tracking and pursuit hunting abilities are truly unfair to play against. And that's why, despite me only giving wolves a rank of A tier on my Canid tier list, when partnered up with humanity, they are legitimately broken, giving dogs the rank of S tier. Partnering up with other highly capable individuals is pretty much always the optimal strategy. And if you've followed my channel for any length of time, you've no doubt heard me talk about my favorite team combo, Nebula.
Whoa. Whoa. I'm gonna stop you right there, my boy. I'm gonna stop you right there. I gotta tap in, bro. Pigs finally developed the defensive strategy against wolf build with the Brick House update. There are 2 wolves inside of you. Now it's time to rank them. It's an interesting video.